Christmas and welcome back to Cooking with Bill. Haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. Thought I'd throw something really quick together for you. It's one of my wife's favorite cookies. It's called a Pecan Sandy, or pecan if you're from the South. Very simple recipe. It's flour, salt, cinnamon, a little bit of vanilla, of course pecans, and you're going to have some sugar, some softened butter. Throw it all together, 350. It's going to be a wonderful cookie. So let's get started. When you're making any kind of cookie or otherwise, you're going to start with granulated sugar. Now in this case, it's calling for a half a cup of granulated sugar, but we're doubling the recipe, so I've put a cup of sugar in. It's calling for, again, a stick and a half of butter for one, so we're putting in 3. We're just doubling this recipe, and I'll put it down in the comments. Now, one thing about doing this, you want to make sure your butter is up to room temperature. You can set it overnight, just set it on the counter. Or if you haven't done that, you can look back at one of my other recipes. It'll show you can slice this into strips, put it in the microwave at a very low setting, and get it to soften up. You don't want it to be melted though, you want it to be softened. And there's a difference. What you're trying to do is use some of the butter to actually, you're blending it, you're making it become fluffier, is what you're doing with the sugar. So you take your stand mixer, you put it in here, we're going to make some noise. Now after you let it go for just a couple minutes, you want to scrape down the sides. You want to make sure you're getting all the sugar off of the sides as well. And again, you're just trying to fluff up that sugar a little bit with the butter. It adds some air to the butter, makes it be a lighter dough. This is going to call for a tablespoon of ice water added to it. We're just adding a little volume, a little water to the mix. We're going to add in again, if you're doing a single recipe, 1/4 teaspoons. But we're adding in a half a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and we're going to add in 2 cups of crushed pecans. Now I hand crush the pecans. You can put them in a food processor, but you got to be careful. You'll end up getting a pecan paste if you're not too careful with it. And so you want all this to go together. We're going to add in also about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla per recipe, so about 3 teaspoons. Incorporate all those together. And then again, the last thing we're going to do is add in the flour. Now the flour calls for 2 cups for a single recipe. Okay, so once you've incorporated all this together, you're going to put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes or so to let it chill. So we're going to wrap this in some plastic wrap, kind of make it into a log. Put it in the refrigerator, let it sit for about 30 minutes, and then we'll show you how to do the rest. Okay, so we've gotten the log out of the refrigerator. It's been there for about 30 minutes, doesn't matter, it could be an hour. Just want it to chill out. Got the oven set for 325. We're going to put these in, just cut them into probably 1/4 inch, and we're going to put them in the oven for about 15 minutes and they should be done. Okay, so we finished with the pecan sandies. As you saw, we cut them into about 3/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch in size. We put them in the oven at 325. About 20-25 minutes, depending on how hot your oven is. When they come out, they're going to have a little bit of a brown on the bottom. The tops will be kind of a pale color. But one of the things you're looking for is that it has that nice texture to it when you snap it. You want it to be just done enough, but not completely dried out. So that's the problem you have when you're doing shortbreads. You can get it too dry and it just crumbles. So this, as you see, didn't crumble apart in my hand. Now it's got that great shortbread texture to it. You can taste those pecans in it. It's one of my wife's favorites. So, Pecan Sandies, very easy to make, very quick kind of recipe. Throw them in the oven, you're done, you got a first Christmas cookie done. If you haven't seen it, go back, you can take a look at my shortbread recipe that's in one of my previous videos. You can also go back and look at biscotti that I made for Christmas as well. And I'm also doing a ginger snap cookie. So, lots of cookies that you can cook. They're all very similar in how they're made. But, if you like pecans, Pecan Sandies is the way to go. Now, I appreciate that you all have been watching me over the last year or so. I want you to give me feedback. I want you to give me suggestions for things. Please subscribe to my channel. So if you're on Instagram, you can look at it there. If you're on YouTube, you can sit there and subscribe and put the bell there. If you see me on Facebook, you can like and tell your friends about me. But from my kitchen to yours, we'll see you back in the kitchen.